Civilization or Barbarism, an Authentic Anthropology by Dr. Cheikh and Diop. He expelled as much as it was in his power, all imperfection, and also he took the whole visible mass, deprived of any rest, changing without order and measure, and he brought it from disorder to order, for he had deemed order to be worth infinitely more than disorder. And never was it permitted, never is it permitted to the best to make anything but that which is the most beautiful. Tiamis 30a, B, and C. These divinity preoccupations that consist of loving the good and hating evil have passed on to the popular level as a moral idea in Egypt and all over Black Africa. Thus, the Platonic universe, as much later that of Leibniz, is optimistic, therein identical to that of Egypt and the rest of Africa. The above cited passage of Plato could be taken for an excerpt without reference from the Heliopolitan cosmogony. As a matter of fact, in this cosmogony, the nun, the chaotic primordial matter, was first the site of an indescribable disorder, and it is the action of the god Khepera through time that will actualize the essence of Ra, who brought order by completing creation in beauty and goodness. This is the reason why order, who, justice or truth, ma'at, are of divine essence for the ancient Egyptians as they are for Plato. Ra, like Plato's God, who is nameless, is the absolute idea of the good and the organizing principle of the world. But as Albert Revold points out in his exposition of the Tiamas 35, page 35, there is a certain imprecision that prevails in Plato. One does not know where the ideas are, where they were. In the beginning, are they distinct from sensible things? What are the relationships between the world of ideas, the living in itself, God, and the world soul? This is not clear. Now, in the Egyptian philosophical cosmogony, all the analogous notions to which Plato alludes are clearly defined. The nun, or primordial chaotic matter, is the living in itself, which potentially contains the whole universe in gestation, in the form of eternal essences or pure ideas. Indestructible models, the archetypes of future beings, but also the necessary force for its own evolution toward the world's actualization. Therefore, one knows where the eternal forms were of which the Tiamat speaks, at the origin of things. Similarly, the universal Ka, present everywhere in the universe, will be, after the birth of Ra and the creation of the sensible world, the immortal soul of this universe, the objective spirit that animates it and makes it intelligible to the individual spirit of the scholar, the logos of Plato's world, as we will see below. The immortality of the individual soul and that of the world as affirmed in the Tiamas, is ontologically founded on the Egyptian cosmogony, because the individual Ka, meaning the parameters of the intellect, are indestructible elements of the universal Ka. They are alien to the body, joined to the Ba, the individual's sensible soul, and to the physical support, which is the body. They form the living human being. After death, the Ka, reunited with the Ba, goes to heaven, and the individual enjoys immortality if his earthly existence was exemplary. Otherwise, the soul becomes reincarnated as punishment in the form of an animal, pig, dog, horse, mollusk, or as a plant. But salvation lies at the end of this long and painful expiation of the soul, in its essence immortal. We'll pause right here. Continue with the passing of baton of civilization or barbarism. I'm Uriel Riley, highest heart.